Welcome to those who are watching the replay. Feel free to scroll or fast forward to wherever you want or feel guided to, and enjoy. Okay. There we go. Huh. That's interesting, maybe. Yeah. I might do that. Okay. Let's see, I need to, where is the thing? Oh, no, it's right here. Here we are. Oh, this is kind of low. Do I want this? Hello. I do want this a little bit higher. Hello. Welcome. We're going to get started with free and paid readings here in a minute. Feel free to like the live. Stick around. Let me know who you are. Are you new? Do you know how this works? Or just say hi, where you're from, etc. I'm doing well, Dipsy. How are you? So, let's see. We're going to change it up tonight. We got South Carolina in the house. What's up? Hi, Amanda. How are you? It's been a minute since you've seen me. It's been a minute since I've seen you as well. We got Georgia, Kentucky. We got Florida. I'm in Colorado. My name's Angelica, if you are not familiar. Nice, Christine. Well, I'm happy to have you here again. Yeah, a lot of people come through here. I do my best, but I can't always, what is it? Guarantee that I remember people. I'm just getting my little cards here ready for tonight. So go ahead and let me know where you're from. Are you new? What's up, Michael? Oh, thank you. I grew up myself. It does its own thing. Thank you. I appreciate it, Amanda. So we are going to switch it up tonight with, we're going to switch up the free readings tonight. Let's see. So all week it's been free general readings. Tonight we're going to have it a little bit more open. Let me know if you're excited to get a reading or to receive a reading. Oh, Jeremy, I'm still working on it because it keeps growing. I am going to create a group, but like now I'm going to be promoting a 5-day like free event, challenge event thing with healing, with tools, techniques, etc. So it's like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you haven't missed it yet, okay? Let me know if you're just coming in. Let me know where you're from. Are you new here? Are you new to me or my page? For like, did I spell that right? Okay, all right. So I had to get my card ready for tonight. This is kind of low for me. I like it. Hello, Georgia, new girl. I love it. Thank you for joining me, Mickey, and joining the group. Aloha, aloha. I love it. I love it. Hawaii, Maui. I love it. I love it. Wisconsin, Canada. I love it. South Carolina. Yeah. I know, Jeremy, but things change. I'm just rolling with it and I'm going with it. So, either you're with me or you're not. It's all good. New York, Carolina. So the only way, okay, so Christine, you're talking about a love reading. The only love readings I'm offering currently are paid, okay? And that's just because of my intuition and my guidance are like, only if it's paid. And it's to create a boundary for people who aren't willing to pay for that, okay? All right. So what's up, y'all? My name is Angelica. I'm going to be your facilitator for tonight. And usually on my channel, I'm the only facilitator, so that's weird to say maybe, but I am a quantum healer, an intuitive empath, and a channel, okay? And my readings typically are geared towards bringing self-awareness, self-realization, transformation, healing, okay? So if you're not looking for that, then I might not be your girl, okay? I do not do pregnancy or fertility readings either. Thank you for allowing me to say that. So the free readings, I am offering free and paid readings tonight or this morning or the afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Okay, so my free readings, all week it's been free general. Okay, so tonight we're going to switch it up. For the free readings, you leave a comment with your name and what kind of, like, either you're leaving a comment with your name and a yes or no question, okay, or general, health, career. I am not offering relationship readings other than paid relationship readings, okay, and I don't do pregnancy or fertility readings at all, okay. Paid services. Do I want to put that? Paid services, I will put the poll up so that you can see what the paid services are, okay? You can look at the bottom of your screen. It should be there. But my paid services, paid readings, you can have a relationship reading there. I also do energy work, mediumship, multidimensional mediumship, and DNA activation. If you have any questions about the type of paid services I offer, please ask before paying, okay? All the paid services, all the links to donate are in my profile, and you let me know in the comments that you donated because I don't always get notified on my phone right away. And in case you are here and you are contemplating a paid service, all the prices will be increasing next week, okay? And all my paid readings go first. Paid readings, services, etc. go first, okay? You get on a list and you go first. So there's a lot of general. I'm going to just go ahead and start scrolling. What happens when a medium... Hey, Danielle, is that... are you coming back from the other day? Or are you new? What happens when a medium gives you bad advice which leads you to being harmed? It depends. I would say, not to invalidate your experience. I would ask, What do you mean by bad? Because bad is subjective. Okay. Whether we are defining something as bad, good, neutral, whatever, it's all subjective. Okay. I don't believe in, me personally, I don't believe in, even if I was taken down a road where I experienced something, I always take it as like, what can I learn here? How can I reorient myself? How can I shift myself? Not to just think of it in a positive light, but to process whatever needs to be processed if I was harmed. Okay. And how do I then, because it feels like it could be maybe a lesson in discernment. Okay, what feedback can I use to help me discern, next time? How do I align to something or someone that is more accurate, or, it could also be an invitation to assess, who you're aligned with, or as far as readers, mediumship, because this is very delicate work. I see it as very sacred. And there's a reason why there are people that do, or I would say there are people that do this work that aren't in alignment, that do, either channel or express from their ego. And you got to be aware of that. So that could be another awareness as well. Okay. I hope that helps. So I'm going to start scrolling through the comments. That's not weird at all, Mickey. I'm a little bit behind on my comments here. Yeah. You were asking about, like you were just feeling really down. Was that you? Like really down, and you were asking about, I was talking to you about mindset. Was that you? We got a lot of generals in here. I love it. I guess I mean advice in general that leads to harm. I might have to sit and think about that and like kind of let that percolate. Because when I'm kind of in the group energy, there's a lot of energies swirling around, and everybody wants something and like wants a reading. And so it pulls at my energy a bit. She's really good too, which is why I was confused. It could be a lesson. It could be a lesson, Danielle. Like I said, not to diminish your experience or say like, or invalidate it. Like, no, it wasn't harm. Like if that's what you experienced, definitely honor that. But it sounds like a lesson somewhere. General. So we got a lot of generals in here. I love it. General. All right. Oh yeah. The meds. Yep. Okay. So Danielle, if you would want to reach out to me on TikTok, I did have some other awarenesses that came through the next day that if you're still kind of interested in, I would be open to sharing. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to tune into the collective here. Please know that if I'm not reading for you specifically, but something resonates, take it. That's how group dynamics work. We are all conduits of spirit. So if if I'm reading for someone else and something resonates with you, take it, apply it to your life. Okay. These readings are always done for the highest and best interest of you individually and all of us together collectively. My readings tend to be for self-awareness, self-realization, and healing and transformation. If that is not something for you, or if you're maybe looking for something else, I may not be your girl, okay? And that's okay. I'm going to own that shit. Just be aware of that, okay? No harm is done ever. No energy is taken that is not freely given. And we always work in the highest alignment in accordance and respect to divine will, free will, and universal law. Okay? All right, so everybody's saying general. Tracy, let's go with you, Tracy. Let me know that you're here. Yeah, just reach out to me, Danielle. And I'll see if I can recall what the intuitive hits that I was getting. How does this work? So I'm doing free and paid readings, okay? Free readings. You leave a comment with your name, and it can be a yes or no question. If you're looking for a yes or no question, it can be general, health, career, etc., or general. I already said general. What am I saying? I'm not doing relationship readings that are unpaid, okay? That's personal guidance. I do not offer pregnancy or fertility either, okay? As far as paid, let me know if you want information on paid. All right, Tracy. Here, okay, sweet. I typically like to work with cards. It depends, really. In order to kind of tap in a little bit quicker, especially in a group dynamic. So I'm just going to connect to your field. So how it works, my dear, so how it works is I like to use the cards to kind of see, what's coming in, and then I kind of read the card and bring in any other intuitive hits that come in. So it's a combination of cartomancy as well as just intuition, empathy, claircognizance, clairaudience, etc. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, I'm hearing to keep it. You have 3 cards. I'm going to keep them, and I'm going to go through them really, really quick. You ready? They're all initiation cards, and I'm going to show them to you here in a minute. So this feels like each individual theme is its own initiation, yet they're all interweaving with each other, okay? First one is forgiveness. I know that's upside down. That's okay. Oh, hi Ash. Love you. So the first one, Tracy, is forgiveness. I would say it's initiation, right? So it's initiation in forgiveness. Typically this shows up as where is forgiveness needed? Not for them, but for you. If it has to be like, if it has to do with other people, it's for you. It really is true that when we're like holding someone else in contempt, we're just poisoning ourselves, right? So I would say, where is forgiveness? Where is forgiveness? Where would forgiveness set you free? Okay, so that's a question to percolate, contemplate, or journal about. Whether it's for yourself, it feels... Here's the thing, everything is a reflection of self. So where are you not forgiving yourself? You're not forgiving yourself because you didn't know something, and now you're holding yourself in contempt. So then you hold other people in contempt that maybe reflect that same pattern back to you. Okay, I know that's kind of vague, but like, it'll make sense if it makes sense. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. So forgiveness. Where would forgiveness set me free? Okay, your second card is balance, because her balance, I'll put it right side up too. Where is balance? Again, understand that forgiveness is also being interwoven here. So The unforgiveness is also causing an imbalance or a lack of balance. Okay? And the third initiation here is acceptance. Okay? So when we are in unforgiveness, we're also not accepting that maybe something happened, or we maybe feel that, you know, forgiving that person or forgiving ourselves, it's going to mean that like we condone their actions, or that we're going to do it again, right? Or that it's going to happen, that we're saying it's okay that it happened. It's okay that, you know, it happens again. That's not the case. Forgiveness is setting you free and liberating you from the poison of holding on to that shit, holding on to the heaviness, holding on to the grudges, the resentment, all of that stuff that's going to poison. It's going to fester and poison your life. And guess what? It crops up in all aspects of your life when you keep holding on to that shit. Okay? And so acceptance comes in here, and acceptance is like grace. It's not grace. Grace is its own separate like theme. But acceptance, I kind of see acceptance like grace, giving yourself grace, accepting that it happened, accepting that you didn't know, maybe they didn't know, maybe they, you know, if it was an act committed against you, you know, maybe typically there's trauma of some type involved. Not that it makes it right or condones it, but it helps you to create understanding so that you can accept that when someone is acting from a place of unconsciousness and they're operating in their trauma, they're operating in their wounds, then they typically show up as uncaring or there's a lack of consideration. There's a lack of, responsibility being taken, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So these are all being woven. So you're being asked, you're being you're being guided. You're being guided to forgive, okay? To turn this around into actual forgiveness and being okay. And that can be its own process of, really coming to true forgiveness, not just fake forgiveness of like, yeah, I forgive that person. No, do you really forgive that person? Can you see the lesson? Can you feel the gratitude for what they actually, like what awareness is, what lessons they brought to you? You know what I mean? And that can be a process. So in order to restore balance and bring you into a greater form of acceptance, not just for others, but for yourself. Okay? And those are going to weave in a lot of different ways. This is just like a short little reading on TikTok. If you do want to go deeper, then feel free to book private with me. But yeah, that's what I got to say. I'm going to leave it there. All right. All right. Hold on one second. Spot on. You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so yeah, that's what I really like to encourage and invite people to do, Clarissa, is the journaling. Journaling really helps because it's getting it out of your mental space and into a physical space. And if it's like, especially if it's like angry words, you can write it all out, then you can burn it. And then you're using fire to help you transmute those like energies. You know what I mean? All right, Jackie, let's do career. Do you have a specific question around career? The more specific you can be, the more specific the information that comes in. What's up, Melissa? How are you, my dear? Jackie. I'm waiting on Jackie. And if you have a question, should I change careers? Okay, go back to school for something different. I'm doing well. Okay, are you here to hang out or mod? Either one's fine. These are paid and free readings. First of all, currently they're free, but I also offer paid readings and services, okay? If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. That would be delightful, Melissa. Melissa is our mod, everyone. If you have questions about readings or how this works, please ask Melissa or just put it in the comments. You know what I mean? Okay, so Jackie, should I change careers, go back to school for something different? So I'm gonna connect to you, Jackie. And I'm just gonna fill in. So I'm gonna ask you this. Are you actually happy, like full out, super fucking happy with your current career, your current job or whatever it is? Because it feels like you're here and the career is like here. So it's not here, it's not in alignment. I guess, how do I put that? So it doesn't feel super in alignment, it feels off. Okay. And Melissa, I'm doing, this is like, we're switching it up. So the free readings, contain yes or no, general health, just no relationship readings or no pregnancy or fertility. No relationship readings that aren't paid. Okay. Yeah. I try to get my master's in accounting, but it doesn't really interest me. So, okay. So that feels like, if it doesn't interest you, then, I would ask myself, why am I doing this? A lot of times we do it because it's expected, right? It's part of the social conditioning or the societal conditioning of you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. That is part of a whole structural system that works in a way that doesn't necessarily benefit everybody. Does that make sense? So it does feel like there's a bit of programming of like, you just had it somewhere in your head from either people telling you, or that's what you thought you were supposed to do, or whatever, that, I need to go get this. But like, it doesn't spark the inside, right? It doesn't spark you. What sparks you? What like brings you alive? Do you know? Is there something that like brings you to life and you're like, I want to learn about that. I would love to like help other people like learn about this, or I would love to learn about this for myself so that I could find a career or my own path in that. Because I would strongly invite and encourage you to find something and go with something that actually interests you. Because if not, you're just going to move further and further out of alignment with yourself. There's a reason why you're asking, and there's a reason why like you feel the dissonance, you feel the misalignment. Not happy with the career. I don't mind my job, but I feel like I have more potential. Yeah, elsewhere. Absolutely. I just don't know what else. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you feel it. Okay. So this is what we want to bring awareness to. So if you don't know, typically one of the best things to do is go explore and have fun with like exploring potentialities of like, okay, here's one thing. What did you like to do as a kid? This is one way, this is one of the ways. What did you like to do as a kid? I'm not going to even reveal it, but if you can tap into what you like to do as a kid, that typically, not typically, it's going to have keys. What we like to do as kids holds a key to what we're actually meant to be. Because when we're kids, we're open, we're free, we don't have like this heavy, we haven't had like all these experiences and traumas and all of this stuff weighing down on us. Where for the most part, we're like more unprogrammed at that point, and we're not carrying the heaviness of life and of the people and experiences around us. So when we're a kid, typically we're more tuned in to what would actually bring us excitement, joy, and if we're doing it like in alignment with our soul and in a way that, in a way that's in alignment with our soul, it's going to get us paid as well. So I would look there. What did you like to do as a kid? And I'd do some journaling around this. You don't have to figure everything out here on the TikTok or on the live, right? But I would like let it percolate for a couple of days, or journal for the next 3 days. I like to do this as a kid. I like to do this. I like to do this. And then ask yourself, are there careers in this, in this, in this, in this? If not, maybe you're here to create something in one of those categories. Okay? But at this point, you're asking, should you switch? I feel like you know the answer and you're just looking for confirmation. I would highly, very strongly invite you to switch, because you want to find something that's in alignment. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to perpetuate the misalignment there, and then it's going to feel more heavy. More misery. You're going to create misery, suffering, and resentment towards yourself for not going for it. Just fucking go for it. We're in this advantageous time of everybody's in a transitional and transformative time. You might as well flow with it and move towards something that excites you. Even if you don't know what that is, just set your intentions or your goals to uncover what that is. Ask your higher self, hey, I'm ready to go on this journey. You show me what excites me. Help me remember what excites me. What would I be able to do that not only brings me money, but also brings me joy and lights me up in the morning and it makes me want to jump out of fucking bed in order to be of service and to make a huge impact and feel fulfilled and have a meaningful life. That's where you want to go. You feel you feel the difference, right? That's where I would say that's where I would want to go. That's where I'm always going to encourage people to go. But it does get to be your choice, whether you go that way or not. Okay? So I would say yes. Please switch careers. Your throat is getting itchy. It's part of that expression, so it makes sense. You're welcome, Jacqueline. Or Jackie. Tabitha, so I don't do, like, for my free readings, I'm not doing any relationship stuff, okay? That can be accessed in the paid stuff, in the paid readings and the paid services. That's just part of my own intuitive, like my higher self's like, no, okay? So if there are tons of other readers here on TikTok, so just so you know. Ooh, okay, I'm feeling a couple. All right. Jen, I'm feeling you. Let me know that you're here. You're asking for a healthy health. So that's when I do a scan. And as far as health, do you have like a certain question, Jen? Do you have like a specific question, or do you want me to just kind of intuitively bring through what comes in? I'm not like the best medical medium, but I do empathically tune into the information that needs to come through. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you have a specific question. If not, just say no. It's cool. Just what comes in? Okay. All right. So I'm going to tune into your energy and I'm going to just do a scan. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to continue. I'm just going to scan first and then I'll tell you what comes in. Okay. Oof. Okay. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. That feels good. Okay. I'm kind of going line by line in your energetic field. So this takes a little bit. That does. Ouch. Ah, okay. All right. So I'm going to continue. Just bear with me. All right. That's okay. Okay, that feels good. Okay. Okay, I'm getting quite I'm not necessarily quite a few, but I am getting a few things. Let me finish scanning. I'm down at your I'm down at your like your ankles and your feet. Okay. So this is interesting because what I was feeling as I was scanning was like I'm also tuning into blockages. There's one on your right side of the right side of the jaw. Okay. And I don't know if this is like the jawbone or if this is gums or if there's an issue on this part or on your left, or not your left, on your right side of your mouth. There's something here that the energy isn't fully circulating there. So I don't know if this is teeth, gums, or like jawbone, but I'm picking up on something right here in the jaw on the right side. Okay. And it feels like around this area if you see it. Okay. So I don't know if there's teeth stuff, but like there's something there and that feels like a blockage. And then as I scanned my way down, It's not serious, but it feels like an energetic block to me. Okay. So that would translate to me as throat stuff, like throat chakra, throat center stuff, expressing, communication, listening, self-empowerment, self-esteem, those types of things, those types of themes. As I was going down, there was, hold on, let's see. There seems to be like another block here in the throat. I don't know if this is manifested as like health stuff yet, but it does feel like this needs to be released. Or else it can has the potential to manifest as, I mean, I don't know what specifically, but it does have the potential to manifest if you don't, something about, again, communication, expression, empowerment. This is your power center as well. So I don't know if this is fully manifested yet, though. It feels like another energetic block. As I was scanning down more, I got into, like, I was scanning the tips of your shoulders, and then I felt, let's see, like, I don't know if I can turn towards the camera, but in my forearm on my left side, I don't know if this is carpal tunnel or some kind of repetitive stress. The carpal tunnel is what came in, what I literally heard. So I don't know if there's carpal tunnel or there's some kind of repetitive stress. Our arms are an extension of our energy, of our heart energy, and they're an extension of us and the actions that we take, right? So something definitely feels out of alignment with the feminine energy and how your feminine energy is expressing, okay? As I move down, the heart feels good. I don't get anything, I don't pick up anything there. Let's see, as I was moving down further, I felt the pancreas specifically come up, as well as the gut, like the stomach. I didn't feel anything like specific for the pancreas, but it does feel like the pancreas is a bit stressed, and the gut feels, I would say, similar. I'm kind of feeling into them right now. Feels like there's some irritation. In the gut. I don't know if you have like ulcers, but there is kind of like that kind of irritation. Maybe not the pain, like maybe not pain wise, but like the feeling or the texture of, you know, like almost the frequency of having an ulcer, feeling that like internal frustration or that internal agitation or irritation in the gut, and it's spreading to the pancreas, and the pancreas feels not, it feels irritated, it feels agitated too, okay? And as I moved down, let's see, I didn't get it in my first scan, but now that I'm kind of tuning in, I'm feeling the left hip come into play. There feels like there's some stuck emotions in the left hip. So I would maybe encourage some hip openers to encourage those emotions to flow and unlock those emotions. But other than that, that's kind of what I feel. Okay. So so for me, it's actually pretty interesting because I was tuning into the energy more so than, you know, I guess I would in a normal, like in a regular health reading, but that's what I was getting. Okay. And I'm going to leave it there. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but that's what I'm feeling. It feels like there's blocks in those specific areas. And if you would, you could tune into the body consciousness of these different places and ask what your body needs. And then ask, what you can do to help remedy, or what needs to be done to help the energy become unblocked, I guess you could say. Mary Ann, you paid for a reading, my dear. That reading was for Jen. But if it resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. It's not for you. Capisci? So my dear, all right, thank you for the, hold on, let me swipe this. So you paid for a reading. Do you have a specific question? Do you want me to read a certain area of your life? The more specific you can be, the more specific the information that will come through. Career? Anything specific regarding your career? Hi Shay. So currently I'm actually doing a paid reading for Mary Ann, but feel free to stick around. And then, once I get all of my paid readings done, I go back to free readings. Okay. So feel free to stick around or not. I'll be around another day too. I just quit a toxic job. And are you looking for like guidance? What to do? Where to go? Nothing else lined up. Right. Tell me more. Tell me more. Keep going. I'm getting a feel for what to tap into. Like what's coming up? What's coming up? What comes to mind? It doesn't have to be like, brain science. Brain science? Brain surgery is what I meant. Just what comes up. It can just be words. Validation that was the right move. Got you. Well, I can tell you, yes. If especially if you feel it was like it feels like a toxic environment, because you said toxic job. The environment feels, bleh. First off, let me fully tap into and excuse me, connect to your energy. It definitely was not, it was time. It was time. You were receiving the internal signals of like, this shit is not in alignment with your soul. And so, good job. Good job. You listened. You were listening. And so now you feel maybe like a little bit in limbo. A little bit like, shit, I don't have anything lined up. Am I going to get something soon? Here's where here's where some of the like intuitive guidance is coming in. I don't know if you were on just a little bit ago when I was reading someone else's career. I think it was Jackie. It feels like it's time to reassess, really get like clear in I would say it's time to reassess, and I'd get like a notebook or journal out and start assessing where you're at and what you want your career to feel like. Like, what qualities? Do you want it to feel liberating? Do you want it to feel like fulfilling and meaningful? Like, what are the qualities of a career? Feel in alignment with your soul. Because what's actually happening here is a greater transformational cycle for you, I guess you could call it, where you're being guided to see or to tune into and to realize, become cognizant of what you actually like, what you're actually meant to do. What actually lights you up? What is actually in alignment with your soul? What would actually create meaning for you? That it would feel like, this is in alignment with my soul. I feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm making an impact and a difference, and in others' lives, or with this, or whatever it is. Like, just that feeling of like, this is it. I feel it, as opposed to, that shit's toxic, I don't want nothing to do with it. There's a definite like energy shift, right? So I would get really in touch with the feelings, emotions, and qualities of what you want your next, what you want, like your career or your next job to feel like. Because this is actually, again, like I said, it's part of a bigger transformation for you. You're going to find another like job in the meantime. So yes to that question. But like, this is just like a pit stop, if you will, on the way to greater transformation. Because I will tell you straight out, I don't think a job is for you. I think you're meant to be an entrepreneur. I won't say I think. Drop the I think. I feel like you're meant to be an entrepreneur, to be honest. And this is just one, you're deconstructing the constructs and the programs that you've been in. So it feels like you're meant to be an entrepreneur, but like this is like one of the steps along the way to that bigger process that I was talking about. Okay. So, yes, there's going to be something coming in. I'm hearing 2 to 3. I'm not hearing anything after that. So that could be weeks or months. Okay. However, in doing, like, get clear in those feelings and feel those feelings every day. So if you want to feel excited and meaningful, like you're making a fucking impact and being of service, like whatever that feels like to you, get in that energy. Because guess what? That you getting in that energy and cultivating that every day, that's going to actually help you to align even quicker to that next job and like pull it in quicker. It's also going to quicken your transformation process. So please use it at your own accord and know that that's going to help you like align, because you're attuning to what you actually want, what your soul is actually guiding you to. And that's going to start to deconstruct your reality. Okay? So do this at your own will, by your own choice, but know that I would totally encourage you to, what are the feelings and the qualities and the emotions? How does it fucking feel to go to a job or to have a career where you're making an impact, where you're making a difference, and you know it because people are telling you, wow, you're making a difference. Oh my God, thank you so much. Or whatever that looks like for you. How does it feel? what emotions, and I want you to get very, very intimately connected into what that feels like. What qualities are there? What does it feel like? What emotions? Okay? Very, 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 very. And if you don't have a job, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to do this. If you don't have a job, set aside, I mean, not even that if you don't have a job, for those who might resonate with this, even if you do have a job, set aside 5 to 10 minutes. I would pick 5 at the very least. Because trying to do this, if you're new to it, 5 minutes is more than enough. But take 5 minutes out of your time. I would pick in the morning because you're up. Your energy isn't flowing in a specific way. 5 minutes in the morning, what would it feel like? But I would encourage you to journal first. What qualities? And then start feeling into. Does this make sense? Is that practical advice? Does that make sense to you? You're working on manifesting that currently? Yeah. So I would use that technique because guess what? That technique helps you to quantum shift. That's a technique that you can use to quantum shift into a new reality, to manifest, to heal, to do all kinds of things. So I would use that. This is the perfect time for you to, you're not connected to all that old environment. Now you're in a completely unknown, right? And the unknown is the best place that we can be, because from the unknown, that's where, that's the quantum. The unknown is like the quantum, and then we can manifest from that space a lot quicker. So you're actually in a really great spot. I will say that I don't know if that 2 to 3, it means weeks or months. But I do feel like that's why that quantum shifting technique is coming through. So as to help you really get clear in your energy and bring that in quicker and close the gap of separation that you might feel not having a job. Oh, I want a job. Well, there's a gap there. So practicing or in training ourselves emotionally and training ourselves to feel those feelings as if it's happening now, because it is. It's just in another reality. Helps us to attune ourself and our frequency to that reality, and we can manifest it quicker. So I would use that. But I will say, just as a disclaimer, I don't know what that 2 to 3 is. It's either weeks or months, but it's not coming in clearly for me. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And if you do ever feel like you need to come back and watch it again, know that I will have I always post all of my TikTok lives in on my YouTube. Can you tell me more about entrepreneurship? I feel like that's going to happen, or it's going to be like a natural process of unfoldment for you. Because, one second, I need to ask permission. Can I? Okay, so I feel like sometime in the future, you're going to find that you want to be your own boss, because that allows you to set your own hours, feel more liberated and free. It gives you a sense of freedom. That's one of the qualities I feel coming in for you. So it feels like a natural process of unfoldment for you to kind of come into this on your own. I would also strongly recommend reading books about entrepreneurship or watch it. Like there's all kinds of YouTube videos, right? And all kinds of information out there. I would start researching what it means to be an entrepreneur and creating a business for yourself, because that's going to be so helpful. It's going to be so helpful when that piece starts to really click in. It does get to be your choice, but that's kind of my bit of like, that's kind of the bit that's coming in about entrepreneurship. Learn about it now. Learn about it now, because that's going to click in later. And then you're going to be like, I'm glad I fucking learned about this, because now you have more of an idea of what to expect, or what to build, or how to build it, rather than going into it completely new and you're like, shit, now I got to build this. It's like kind of giving you a piece of advice to get ahead of the game. Like get ahead of your own game. But that's kind of all that comes in about entrepreneurship. I would say look into it now, and then follow your guidance as to, if there's someone that's giving great advice and you like their YouTube channel, fucking watch all of their videos about entrepreneurship or starting a business for yourself, because there's so much information out there. So much. And if you get started now and you start learning about it now, you can start to get a feel for where you would want to go, like when that finally clicks in. I don't know when it's going to click in. They're not giving me that. That feels amorphous, and it's in the quantum right as of right now. So that information is not being given to me, but I would highly, highly recommend to look into that and do your research, because you're the one that's going to benefit, right? So if I sat here and told you about this and this and this, I don't know a lot about it. I am an entrepreneur, but I don't know like all of the ins and outs. But if you know it for yourself, that is going to be more powerful than me telling you about like the things that I know. Does that make sense? Yeah. You're welcome. But that's the end. I can feel the energy kind of closing. So I would say take what resonates and integrate, and definitely do your journaling and start researching on entrepreneurship, because you're going to be glad that you did. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you, my dear, for the exchange. It's been an honor, and it's not too late to send a donation. So journaling is so helpful, because it allows you, especially if like you got a lot of stuff going on upstairs, or you got a lot of thoughts, they get jumbled. So when we write them down on paper, it allows us to organize our thoughts. It allows us to organize our energy in a way that is extremely beneficial. At least for me, it is. Danielle, no, it is not too late to send a donation. Let me know if you need prices or anything. All right, Haley, let's do a reading for you. Haley says, I really need a reading. I'm in a bad place. So can you expand on that, Haley? Let me know, like, just expand on that for me. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to say all of the things or tell the whole story, but like, what's coming up? Because you're talking about career general. So do you have a specific question, for example? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for that, Marianne. I appreciate that. Sending Haley. I had to like reread that, and then like I realized, oh, okay, she's sending her. I'm lost. I'm lost, and I don't know what my path should be in career. Got you. A lot of people are in this space. So you're saying career. I thought I knew I was what I was meant for, but I don't know. You too. So. Okay, so Haley, this is, keep in mind, this isn't to invalidate your current experience, right? Excuse me, we're moving some energy. At the same time, this is actually a really great thing that's happening, okay? What's happening right here, what's happening now is you're deconstructing some of the programs that you're like, that were instilled in you. So for example, as a practical example, a lot of times we are imprinted with societal beliefs. It could be cultural beliefs, it could be familial beliefs, etc. about this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. And then we follow those programs, not realizing they're programs. I want to do this, I want to do this with my life. But like, you probably, maybe you never stop to actually question that. And or perhaps it was resonant with you at one time, at one phase in your life, and now it's no longer in resonance. So now what's happening is you're deconstructing those old programs and realizing that's not for me. I thought I knew, but that's not. So with this, you're actually deconstructing an old identity. And I will strongly encourage you, my dear, to let it fall and disidentify with the version of you that you thought you were, and allow it to die. Because you're actually, what's happening is you're being supported and guided in creating, like, actually not creating, discovering and rebirthing a new identity. Or you could say creating a new identity. But you could even say finding or discovering your true identity. Something that's way more in alignment with your soul, way more in alignment with, you, your values, your purpose. Here's the thing. Here's something that I've found, because I went through my whole thing of like, I was a bodybuilder at one time, and then I had a spiritual awakening, and then I realized, fuck, bodybuilding is not for me. If I'm not a bodybuilder, who the fuck am I? And it was a whole process of deconstructing that identity. And then I had to, through the whole 6-year process, I'm not saying it's going to be 6 years for you, but through that whole 6-year process, I had to start healing. And what I realized that through healing my internal shit, like my old trauma, because I had been running from a mountain high, long list of trauma and emotional wounds. And, I had instilled in me fear-based beliefs, and I was just fearful as shit and scared to do anything with my life. I was scared to own my power, all of the things, the whole fucking nine. But as I released and I healed, my purpose eventually revealed itself. So I would say, for me, in my experience, and I would encourage others, that this is why shadow work and doing your internal work and facing your shit, that's why it's so important. Because it uncovers these things that would otherwise heretofore be kind of inaccessible, Because a lot of times when we have trauma or programming and we're still operating in that programming, what's happening is because that programming is running, we're unable to see past that programming. But when that programming and those wounds start to heal, and that programming starts to break down, and you start to see through that shit, you start to see through the illusion, you start to realize, oh, okay, all right, that is definitely not me. And now what's actually you, what's actually in alignment with you, can be revealed. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's so important to heal, to own your shit, to face your shit, to do your shadow work. And that's just one of the reasons why. That's just one of the reasons why, because a lot of times what I found is that it reveals our purpose to ourselves. And our purpose is really just to be. But what is to be? That can be like kind of vague, right? I get to be, but like, be what? You get to be yourself. And what comes along with that is what naturally inspires you to be of service to the world, to make an impact, to create meaning for yourself. And that oftentimes lies beyond, or let's say underneath, the wounds, the unprocessed emotions, the emotional baggage, the fear-based beliefs, the beliefs that you're unworthy and incapable and you're not valuable and you're not worth shit. Okay? So you're actually being guided to heal your stuff so that you, in that process, you can reveal to yourself what is actually truly in alignment. I know that kind of sounds vague, but I promise you, I went through it myself. You got to heal your stuff. You got to heal your stuff. Okay? And I would encourage you to go into, if you're not already, start learning about shadow work and doing your shadow work and really getting in touch with the beliefs that are there that are holding you in a certain box, the traumas that are there that are holding you in a certain box, and all the rest, right? The emotions that are holding you in the past that you keep recreating in the present. So it's time to deconstruct your reality even more by going into healing. This is part of why you're feeling so lost, because you're being guided towards healing your stuff. However, I will say it has to be your choice. You have to be ready and you have to be willing to see it through no matter what, relentlessly. Okay? But that's part of why you feel so lost, is because your old reality and your old identity is being deconstructed, and that's scary. And I completely empathize with you, my dear. That can be scary as fuck. And I'm sorry that, that all of the things are coming up. At the same time, that's a great thing, because all of these things are being released and you're starting to process the fear and the stuff and the emotions and the stuff and the beliefs and the stuff. You're starting to deconstruct the old reality. Does that make sense? That's why you feel lost. And guess what? Being lost or feeling lost is part of a paradox, because once you're lost, that's the only way you can find yourself. So be as lost as you can. Feel like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust. It's also an initiation in trust. Did I mention that? So there's a lot of things coming up for you, my dear. This is why you feel lost, though. I would invite you to, really contemplate where could you use some really deep healing in your life? Okay? Because there's healing and shadow work that needs to be done so that you can excavate all of the heaviness and uncover yourself. Because yourself, your true self, your divine self, your highest self, your God self, your Christ self, whatever you want to call it, that is the self that has the knowing that is going to guide you where you need to go. So trust. I would say within all of it, my most practical advice to you is to trust. Maybe like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I feel lost as hell, but I'm going to do my best to trust. And maybe I don't trust yet, but I want to start opening those doors of trust. So if you're not fully like trust, like, I don't know if I can trust this, open a door by saying, but I want to. I want to trust. I want to be shown how to trust. How do I trust? That kind of opens the door. Does that make sense? This was a longer reading, but I hope that helps. I hope that helps you, my dear. What's up, Devin? Are you here? Let's see. Whoa. I didn't mean to do that. Are you here? Are you here? I don't know if Marty's here. Are you here, Marty? Okay, Danielle, you paid. Correct? You paid for a reading? Is that what hold on. Sometimes it comes across my phone like, what the heck? You're welcome. You're welcome, Haley. I seen that. Okay, whoops. So I will, how can I be of service to you, Danielle? Do you have like a specific question? Would you like me to go into a specific thing? Relationship? The only thing I don't do is pregnancy. But I got your payment. While Danielle is contemplating a question, you can also be open. Please know, let's do last call for paid readings. Because yeah, let's do last call for paid readings and free readings. Although I'm doing a paid reading right now, huh? So just know for paid readings, paid services. Yes, I am doing free readings. However, right now I'm in a paid reading, EMJ. Okay, so just know that my paid services are this for readings, energy work, energy clearing, mediumship, multidimensional mediumship, and DNA activation. Please also be aware that all my prices are increasing next week. Okay, so if you're looking to get a lower deal, like a lower price point or whatever, everything's going to increase next week. Okay, starting next week. So last call on any paid readings. Danielle, did you figure it out? What's up, sissy? How are you? Danielle, what can I be of service to you, my dear? Do you have a specific question? Are you looking for relationship, general, career, health, or do you have a question? Let me know, my dear. Melissa, a list of what? My services? Oh, you're okay. Struggling in okay. Danielle says I'm struggling with my relationship, among other things. So maybe just whatever I need to hear most. Okay. Oh, of the prices? Yes, I will. Like the new prices? Is that what you're talking about? I'm going to write that down. Email. 1 second, 1 second, Danielle. All right. I got you. The new one. Okay. Because some things might be going away. But I'm definitely increasing. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, sissy. That's a lot. I got you, Melissa. Okay. Okay, Danielle. So, all right. So let me tune in. You're talking about relationship. Okay. Okay. All right. So this reading is for Danielle. However, if there is anything that comes across that resonates or that catches your ear, it's for you. All right, Danielle. Okay, yeah. I'm kind of tuning into your energy here. And I definitely feel like a more somber energy. I would say like not full on depression, but like, I would say maybe depression adjacent. Just like a lower kind of mood around most things. Okay, this is coming in. So I was hearing, as soon as I was like reading your comment there, when you said you're struggling in your relationship, what I heard in my head was this is actually has to do with your relationship with yourself, because this isn't quite the word that I'm looking for. It feels like you're floating away from yourself. It's not quite the word that I'm looking for, but it feels like you're kind of moving away from yourself, and that's where part of the struggle is, and it's translating into your other relationship because you're not in alignment with yourself. Okay. 1 second. I'm just gonna feel in. Okay, I'm actually hearing to pull a card, because there's a card in here that is gonna help to highlight some things. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. That definitely is like relationship city. There, nope. Not quite. Oh, very interesting. Wow. All right. I will most likely pull another one here in a minute, but I'm going to get to these ones. So these are the ones that were like flipped over in the deck. So your first card, my dear, is, hold on, let me screw that. Authenticity. Okay. I know it's upside down, but it's about being authentic, authenticity. And this has a lot to do with communication within the self, being authentic with yourself, being honest with yourself. Where are you not speaking up for yourself? This is what I'm hearing. Where are you not speaking up with yourself? I mean, it can be in the relationship as it pertains to the relationship, but like it's also reflecting you not being honest and standing up for yourself and like what your needs are, what you need. I hear needs and values. So it has to pertain to like your needs and values, and not like what's the word there? Not fully owning and honoring that you have needs, and that sometimes you need to speak up and you need to express those needs. You need to express, this is how I feel. This is how I'm feeling. Or, this is like, so from this, just approaching the relationship very, kindly, considerately of the other person, and saying, like, these are my needs. And, or I've been feeling about this or thinking about this and kind of contemplating it. And like, I just really feel like I need to bring this up because this is part of, what I really need to feel more authentically expressed in this relationship and within myself. So it means a lot to me. And what do you need? What do you need to express? Okay. Because it feels like there's something about needs that's not being fully expressed, and then values. And I don't know where that fully fits in. It may make sense to you, but that's what I'm hearing. Okay. You bottle your emotions so I don't rock the boat. Okay. So you're being a people pleaser. You're walking on eggshells and you're abandoning yourself. So this is what it was. So it really has to do with your relationship with yourself, my dear. You're abandoning yourself so you can say yes to someone else. And guess what that creates? It creates resentment. Sometimes it can create self-hatred. So it creates a lot of like friction and tension within yourself. And there's a good type of tension to have, but not within yourself. You're literally abandoning and rejecting yourself so as to make the other person feel not have to feel uncomfortable. So this is wrapping around into the empath, the sensitive person, the person that feels other people's energies. The empath because they're so attuned to other people's stuff, what empaths do is they give to get. They give whatever they need, or whatever the other people need, whatever someone else needs in order to get safety, approval, validation, etc. However, at the expense of themselves. And this issue in the relationship is going to continue to get bigger until you come to terms with not abandoning yourself, or at least that you start to recognize when you're abandoning yourself, and you say, no, I'm not abandoning myself. I'm not doing that shit anymore. And I understand this 100, 1,000, 1 fucking million %, because I used to do the same thing. I would abandon my needs at the fucking drop of a dime so that other people were uncomfortable around me, because I could feel their uncomfortableness. And guess what? The good kind of tension is when you don't abandon yourself and you let other people feel the tension, feel uncomfortable. You don't get to abandon yourself. You get to let them stand in the tension and feel the tension and feel uncomfortable. And then you get to realize and recognize that's your shit, that's not mine. That's an empowered empath, my dear. You might feel it, you might sense it, but guess what? You also get to say that's your shit, not mine. Because here's the thing, you keep abandoning yourself, you're going to create a bigger rift in your relationship with yourself. It's going to reflect in your other relationship. It's just going to keep amplifying, getting more amplified. It feels like this is what I'm feeling. It feels like there's a fear of you like you want safety in the relationship. You want to ensure that like the relationship feels safe and secure for you. But if you're abandoning yourself and abandoning you're not going to speak your emotions, you're not going to speak your mind. If you're not speaking up for yourself, if you're not creating that safety within yourself first, it's going to eventually disrupt your relationship so much that things are going to crumble anyway, because you're going to be so unhappy within yourself that like there's either going to be like self-sabotage or like it's going to come out in some other way. Does that make sense? So I would super encourage you to explore the abandonment wound and explore why you abandon yourself at the expense, of others. Because you're creating a big rift in yourself. There is another part of this though that feels like, if I rock the boat, if I say the things, then I feel like this person, are you, oh, it's here. Let me just straight out ask, do you feel, is there like a fear that if you do speak your emotions, that this relationship is going to like fall apart or it's going to dissolve? The second part of that question is, have you expressed your needs and wants and emotions in the past where that's caused an issue in this relationship? Makes perfect sense. I'm going to ask you those two questions. I do fear us ending. I have a deep-rooted fear of abandonment and rejection. Yeah. And so what's really interesting about abandonment wounds is that a lot of people end up abandoning themselves so that they're not abandoned again, or that they don't feel abandoned or rejected again. And so really what happens is we're perpetuating that same pattern. And ain't that about a crazy paradox? So I would really encourage you to explore that abandonment wound, and give yourself, like, explore it, and also give yourself super compassion, because we're dealing with the inner child here. We're working with little Danielle, who is terrified to be rejected and abandoned again, because it always comes back to safety, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling loved, also feeling validated, feeling approved of. Especially, and especially so when it comes to like abandonment and rejection. Like, we don't like, that's safety, right? That's like primal safety. Like, holy shit, If I'm abandoned again, then there is this fear inside your mind. Shit, what are my, like, am I going to have my needs met? Am I going to be fed? Am I going to have a roof over my head? Am I going to have a relationship? It gets super, super primal. So I would really encourage you to work with this wound. It's time to, it does get to be your choice. So please know that above all else, you get to choose to whether to work through this or not. However, I will say the way it's coming through, you're being guided to release this wound because it's affecting your relationship. Not just with this other person, with yourself first. If other people, here's the other part of this. If other people, okay, hold on. How do I say this? When we speak our minds, when we speak our values, or when we stand up for ourselves, when we speak our emotions, and we feel the tension within other people, right? That's their shit, not our shit. That is going to repel some people. And that's a good thing. Because guess what? It's then creating an alignment with you, and it's helping to repel those that are out of alignment with this new awareness, with this new person you're becoming and that you're aligning to. So it's actually a good thing. Because do you want to have a good relationship with yourself? Or would you rather have a good relationship with someone else and at the expense of you? At the expense of, bottling up your emotions, bottling up, and like that's pressure that builds up inside, and it doesn't end well. It can I will say it can lead to a lot of things. It can lead to a lot of things. There's extreme cases and there's less extreme cases, but like it's if we're abandoning ourselves, that's extreme enough in my book. And if you're abandoning yourself, that's not fair to you. You deserve more. You deserve to treat yourself better, more kind, more gentle. You deserve to listen to yourself. You deserve to honor your own needs. You deserve to honor your own needs. And if you need to express your emotions, that deserves a space within you and your relationship to be honored, to be heard, to be acknowledged. Okay? You got to stop abandoning yourself. Because then what you're also going to have to do is deal with the resentment that you feel towards yourself for abandoning yourself. The anger that you have towards yourself for abandoning yourself. You have to deal with all the shit. Trust me, I know. I abandoned myself for 35 years just to make other people feel good and to walk on eggshells and not express my own things. And when I did, I would finally burst, and it would either end the relationship or would cause a huge fight. And what I had to finally learn was that it's much easier to live in alignment with me and my values and my needs and acknowledge those, honor myself, rather than to build relationships that are based on a false premise of who I am and who I'm not. Because The other part the other part that's coming in is empaths are also manipulators. They manipulate. They're just like narcissists. They manipulate. They're just different. They're different sides of the coin, right? But they manipulate. They manipulate people in order to feel safe. In order to feel, to either get, they manipulate people to, they give to get. And that's a form of manipulation. I'll give you this if you give me this. I'll give you, I'll give you suppressing my needs and my emotions in order to get safety, approval, validation. So it's also a form of manipulation. Okay? And it's not about judgment, it's about awareness. You're not gonna get judgment from me, my dear. I've definitely been here. I've been through all of this stuff. And I have so much empathy and sympathy for it, because it's a lot to deal with. But I'm telling you, it might be easy to not say the things, but you're creating a very significant misalignment within yourself, which can cause sickness, illness. And we were talking about the meds, right? So I would really start journaling, self-contemplating, just looking into the self of like, where did this need to abandon myself come from? Hint, it's going to connect to feeling safe or feeling unsafe. When did it start? When did it happen? Yeah, or when did it start? What memories are connected to it? What emotions are connected to this? Because there might be a range of emotions, I'm telling you. Everything from pain, suffering, to anger and rage. Okay, I would explore the emotions, the emotional spectrum, and all of the feelings that are coming up. And then I would ask, I would do some deep soul searching and be honest with yourself. Am I ready to shift this pattern? Because if you're not, that's okay. But at least acknowledge that you're not willing to shift this pattern. Be honest with yourself. And if you are, ask your highest self, okay, I'm ready to shift this. Show me how. Okay? And know that your higher self will show you how. So you definitely want to be prepared. Not to create any fear, but just know that, like, if you ask for it, it's going to come. Okay? Your other card, my dear, is unconditional love in reverse. Okay? This is about coming into unconditional love of the self. This is about your expansion. Okay? This is about being authentic, your authentic self, including emotions, feelings, your values, your needs. Because that's part of your truth. And if you're suppressing your truth, you're suppressing all of this. You're suppressing your power. You're not owning your power. This is about unconditional love of the self. And if other people or your relationship or the person that you're in a relationship has like a problem with that and an issue with that, then I'm going to tell you that was like a conditional relationship, and it was probably there anyways until you actually came into your power and wanted to own your power. Okay? and it was going to be released when you started to own your power. If it's not, if they are open to that, and they do want to support you in your feelings and your needs and your wants and your desires, and they do want to support you in all of those things, then they'll be with you. If not, then that relationship is going to crumble. Okay? And I don't mean to put it so bluntly, but I can't be dishonest. I'm glad that helps. It kind of turns things in a different way for you, Clarissa. Does that make sense, Danielle? Does that make sense for you? Please know I say it all in love. Okay, so Danielle said, let me. I really I think I really need to hear all of this, exactly what I need to hear. Okay. I don't know if you're still here, Danielle, or if you checked out, whichever. But I was feeling intuitively to say all of the things because it's important for you to hear those things. Okay. Makes sense? Okay. If you have any extra questions or need maybe any extra support, please feel free to reach out to me through TikTok, or, reach out to me, like message me through TikTok. Okay. Yeah. I like I'm at a loss. Do I go on or, but I'll leave it there. Okay. This is all about you expanding into unconditional love for yourself. Okay. But to get there, you got to be authentic. And this is about an initiation. Initiations are, they tend to take us out of our comfort zone and really challenge us to stretch and grow in very accelerated ways. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. But I'm glad it makes sense. And I would definitely encourage you to do the journaling and really get honest with yourself. Are you ready to shift this pattern? Okay. I mean, because it gets to be up to you. It's your life. You're the authority of your life. So it gets to be your choice. Thank you so very much. I have been working on healing myself. It's been a process. Yeah, it's definitely a process. There's layers and layers and layers of shit. There's always going to be something that comes up. I will say though, that it is possible to heal the bulk of your shit. You can heal the bulk of your shit, but there's always going to be like another layer that comes up, or a deeper awareness to be realized, because that's the point of infinite expansion. So there's always going to be something else, but you can heal the bulk of your shit, because I've done it. And before healing the bulk of my shit, when I was in the midst of it, I was like, this is impossible. It is not possible. I didn't think it was possible, but it is possible. And I'm proof of that. And I am not really anybody that's special. I've just done it. I've been there. So if you do need any help or any extra advice, then please feel free to contact me. Okay? Just pulled out like a bunch of my hair. All right. So let's go back to free readings, and let's go back to free readings, and let's do last call for free readings. I love you, Danielle. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, my dear. It's always a pleasure and an honor to facilitate and to read for others, especially when it comes to like healing. This is what I fucking live for. I love it. Okay, so free readings, leave a comment with your name. I really should have put that on there. And then it can be a yes or no question, general health, career, etc. The only time relationship readings are allowed, according to my higher self, is through a paid reading. Okay. And then I just don't do pregnancy or fertility. Okay. It's just not my bag. It's not my bag, baby. But let's do last call for that. And then I'm going to say goodnight for the weekend. All right. I'm actually feeling, okay, I see ya. I'm actually, hi, Taryn. I'm glad that you got it. It's definitely nothing personal or malicious. It was just like, you got to integrate. Trust me, I would keep receiving, but like, it's really important for me to cut it off if I'm feeling the intuitive guidance to be like, no, because I don't want to enable anything like any destructive or dysfunctional patterning. Okay. Sending you love, Danielle. I appreciate you too, my dear. Love me. What I'm hearing for your question is you're asking if you're going to get your sentimental, irreplaceable belongings back. This actually feels like a lesson in detachment. I can't tell you whether or not you will, because that feels like it's a little bit up in the air right now, to be honest, for whatever reason. So I will say it feels like a lesson in detachment. And because I get it, like I do want to validate, like I get having like sentimental items and belongings, like, like shit, like I want to have those things. I will say at the same time though, it does feel like if you detach from that, it's a lesson in detachment. Because if you detach from that, here's the thing. If you stay attached to that, it's going to cause you pain and suffering, resentment, unforgiveness, etc., especially if you don't. So it's almost like encouraging you to get ahead of the game, so to speak, and detach. If I do, if I don't, it is what it is. That doesn't mean that you don't get to grieve or be angry for a while if that's the anger, if that's the emotion that's coming up, if you don't get them back, because you're absolutely entitled to your own emotions and your own experience, right? However, it does feel like I just keep hearing detachment. And that actually paradoxically, if you detach, might return some of those items. I don't know if all of them, but I'm hearing some. Okay, so I would do my best to detach. What if you didn't? What if I didn't? You're going to continue to live on. You're going to continue to live, get new things. Not saying that those sentimental items are replaceable or anything, but I'm just saying like you're going to continue to live whether or not you get them back. So I would do a little thought experiment and write down all of the things that if you didn't, live in that reality for a minute. Can you find a way to detach and say, come to a place of neutrality? If I do, if I don't. Or if I do, I would be angry. I would feel this. I would feel this. I would feel this. And then ask yourself, is that worth it? To feel all of those things and to attach so deeply that it would literally drag you down with heaviness. Is it worth it? Is that worth your, attaching yourself or, creating for yourself a lower timeline? Is that worth lowering your vibration or your frequency? Is that worth holding on to resentment and that resentment and unforgiveness poisoning you? Is it worth that? If it is, be honest with yourself. That's okay. Be honest. I'm not here to coerce you into saying something that you don't want to say or that you don't truly feel, but it's more like be honest with yourself and work through the energy that way. Can you get to a place of neutrality and detachment? Because here's the thing, if you're detaching so deeply, you're going to start creating suffering, unnecessary suffering and pain for yourself. Okay, so that's why the exercise in detachment. Can you find a way to detach? That's what I feel for you, okay? And just be honest with yourself along the way. Oh, it was your fiance's ashes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That sucks. That's definitely, here's the thing. Yeah, that sucks. I definitely feel that. At the same time, are they just being held? Hold on. Are they being held from you? What's going on there? Are they being is somebody being malicious and holding them from you? What's the situation? I'm curious, because that might, it still feels like detachment. Your boss won't give back your belongings? Why not? Is this, they're your belongings. Are they supposedly at you, at an old job? What's going on there? Because they belong to you. Unless you left them for more than 30 days, then they have right to throw the things away. But if it's yours, I'm kind of wondering what the situation is, because then it's well, you can also, can't you take someone in to get your ashes? Like a police escort or something. Yeah, I'm doing free readings. I'm finishing up my free readings. The only thing with free readings, there's no relationship readings, okay? Relationship readings are paid services only, okay? Just so you know, Cobus, I'm talking to you. But just to let you know, okay? The only way I do relationship readings are paid only, okay? You're welcome. So, I used to live with them, and then had an accident in another state and stayed there a month in the hospital. I think let me kind of tune in. Let me just tune in, because there's a lot of things that I could go into. If I'm hearing detachment, that might mean no, because you left them for 30 days, and here's the thing. Some people, for whatever reason, can be spiteful or just no, you're not going to get them. And, they're in their own ego about it. That feels like the case. It feels like there's some spitefulness and not really, almost feels like not caring to understand the situation. Yeah, but you left my shit here. but you left your shit here, and now, so, excuse me, I would practice detachment, and I would also practice compassion for yourself in response to their actions. So saying things like, I'm so sorry they're holding your stuff. I'm so sorry they won't give you your stuff back. I'm so sorry they won't give you what you're entitled to. I'm so sorry they're holding your stuff hostage. I'm so sorry, because there's some interlocking karma and some like interlocking energy. Like the energies are like, it's like you're creating karma with each other. And I would go into a detachment. I would really highly encourage you to detach. Not saying that you won't get those ashes back. But I would highly encourage detachment and compassion. And as for practical application, is there a way to show up in that other state? Get a police escort and maybe get your stuff back? I would look at it from like an energetic standpoint as well as a practical, which is what I always do in my readings. I read the energy and then I give some practical advice. So the energy thing is like detachment and compassion. However, what can you do practically? Can you go to this person's house? Or ask, even just ask them, hey, I don't care about anything else. Can I have my ashes? What have you done practically to get those ashes back? Especially if that's the only thing that matters. I would just be like, you know what? I just want my ashes back, or, my fiance's ashes back. Because really nobody has, it feels very spiteful for whatever reason. So maybe there was bad blood there or some friction or whatever that was happening in that connection with your boss. But you might, I don't know. I keep feeling like you might have to just eat it. However, I would consider, what actions have you not taken? Okay. Went to the police. They told me to take it to court. I mean, so then now you have a choice. Is it worth it to you to go to take it to court and get your belongings back? Are you taking it to court? Or can you take it to court? Like financially, are you able to like take it to court and do the things that need to be, I would definitely work with it on an energetic level and then see what comes in of like what practical steps you can take for sure. Because I would be like, I want my ashes back. It would be worth it to me to go to court and be like, I don't care about anything else. If I get my other stuff back, great, but I want my ashes, or I want my fiance's ashes. You know what I mean? So I work with it on both levels. There is a possibility, but I feel like you have to be willing to do things. Sometimes that's how it is. It's kind of like life or the universe or creator kind of like giving us a challenge of like, hey, well, is this worth it to you? Are you willing to do what it takes? Okay. I hope that helps. Oh, okay. So, I mean, then it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to sound like that person, but like if you left the state after the police told you no, it sounds like you kind of gave up and you felt like you weren't, it felt like you kind of gave up on it. And at that point, the law might be on their side, depending on like how long your stuff has been or at their house. So that I feel like it really is your choice. I feel like it's kind of in your hands. Where you're currently headed or where you're currently sitting with it, it feels like you're not going to get it back. But if you go and pursue it, wouldn't that be worth it, at least seeing what you could do with that? I would. But that gets to be your choice, okay? And I feel like it's the difference is in your choice. Are you willing to go back and get your dog and get your, you can't just, this isn't a passive life. Unfortunately, it's not a passive life. You got to do the thing sometimes. And that sometimes, unfortunately, that means going to court and doing the thing. And I feel like the difference is there. Okay? All right, so let's continue on. I mean, I hope that helps, but like, you got to be willing to do the things. Clarissa. So here's the thing. So the free readings that I'm offering, there's no relationship readings. The relationship readings are only available in paid services. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. So the dog's already, kind of in, not really a loss, but like it kind of feels like a blessing in disguise. Yeah, my links are in my profile to donate if you want to donate for a paid reading or a paid service. But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I mean, I get that you're in a different state and you're not even in the States. I mean, you're in the States, but you're like I totally get it. I've been in Hawaii. I know like it's total different vibe there. But if getting your fiance's ashes back is worth it to you, then pursue it. And take action in that direction to get them back. If it's not, I would let it go. Okay. Clarissa, are you here? Clarissa, you were wanting a health reading. Let's do yours. Okay, so Clarissa. So I'm just gonna do a quick. You're welcome, love me. I mean, I hope that helps, but like, that's a little, it's kind of sticky. That's a sticky situation. All right, Clarissa, so I'm going to perform. First off, I'm going to connect to your energy. And then I'm going to like just do a scan. Okay. First, I'm feeling the right temple, but it feels like the right side of the right brain. My right brain. Like right here, I don't know what like specifically what part of the brain that would be, but it feels like inside the right temple, the right side of the brain. And that feels like a programmed belief there that it just feels like a programmed belief. Let me continue with this. I want to do the scan for the most part, and then I'll go into the other things if there's more in depth. Okay. All right. Into the throat. There's like wibbly wobbly energy. There's like wobbly energy, like goes back and forth in the throat. Okay. Feels like energy gets stuck. It feels like energy gets stuck in the hands. I don't know why I keep saying that. Feels like energy gets stuck in the hands. So that can be incomplete projects. So continuing on. I'm feeling the right side of the heart for some reason. Solar plexus is lighting up as well. I would say womb/birth trauma that's sticking out. And there's a little bit of ungroundedness in the root. There's some imbalance of power dynamics in the root as well. I'm feeling resentment in the knees. And that ungroundedness that I was feeling in the root, I feel them in the soles of your feet as well. Okay, so going back into the head where we were, there's some programs here in the right side of the brain. That is, let's see, right side is, so, oh, okay, all right, that would kind of make sense. So the right side controls the left side of the body, left brain controls the, so the right brain is more fluid, it's more feminine, it's more it's more fluid and non-logical. Oh, interesting. So it feels like it would affect the way your feminine energy shows up, and it would affect the way that you express in your feminine energy. There's some beliefs up here that feel like it, and as it pertains to a health, as that pertains to a health reading, the things that I'm picking up on they can potentially manifest into like bigger issues if they haven't already. Okay, but this is where I'm feeling it for whatever reason today. This is how I'm picking up on things. This is new to me. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. Okay. I would invite you to like take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And then see, if something does resonate, how does it apply to your life? Okay. But as I sense it, these are the blocks that I'm sensing that could potentially manifest, if they haven't manifested already, in, a suppression or repression in energy, or a blockage in energy, and how that's actually moving through or not, like energy wise. So we went into, and then there was, the energy was like, okay, so something, the whatever programming it is up here, it's causing expression to like show up one way sometimes, and the other way other times. So it is affecting your feminine energy. It's like wishy-washy. I'm not sure. Sometimes I can own my power, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I express my needs and my wants. Sometimes I don't. I feel like, kind of unsure as to how to express, when to express, and just not fully grounded in your power and confidence, because this is self-esteem. I mean, yes, it is how we communicate and listen and converse. It is also it can also be connected to our self-esteem and our confidence and the way we treat ourselves. Okay. So some ups here is influencing and affecting the way you express yourself. And then we went into the hands. This is also this line of energy from the head to the throat. It's also affecting how you complete projects or don't complete projects. It feels to me like the energy gets stuck in the hands and is never fully grounded. Like I said before, it feels like it might result, or this could result in incomplete projects, not fully completing projects before you go on to another one, or whatever this looks like. It feels like incomplete projects from the hands. And that's actually how we ground our creativity. So there's something here that's being affected by the programs and the beliefs in the head, in the mind. As we move down, let's see if I can remember. I did feel something in the right heart. I'm hearing ventricle. So let me feel into. I feel heart health. I hear heart health, and I'm hearing ventricle. So I don't know if that's something to get checked. I would look into that if that's something that feels like I would tune in for myself. Feel into your right ventricle, like because you're, but like there's different. I'm hearing ventricle. So I know that we have like aorta and like ventricle and like the different things, but I'm hearing specifically ventricle, right ventricle. However, I would say I'm not feeling if this is like a blockage, like a physical blockage. What I hear is actually there's some heartbreak that's affecting the physical anatomy. Trauma does stick in the body and it does affect our physical anatomy. And then it manifests, if left unhealed, unreconciled, it does manifest into sickness, disease, illness, etc. Okay, so it feels like there's some heartbreak there, some unprocessed grief that needs to be released in order to allow that ventricle to like open up, because it feels like there's, I don't know if it's a clog or a blockage, but there's something there that it just feels restricted. Okay. Okay, the solar plexus lit up too. This is power. Again, I poked myself. This is also pertaining to the beliefs, the thoughts here, and the power here. Okay, so there is some blockages is happening, and some because all of these places are connected, right? But there's blockages in the energetic lines that are connecting the brain, the throat, and the solar. So there's some clearing there that needs to happen. So between power, expression, and beliefs around power and expression, I would say even like in your feminine. So as a woman, how is that being affected? Or how do you feel like that's being affected? How is that, how is that being affected? That's the solar plexus. There's a little bit of there's some individuality stuff and some identity stuff in there as well in the solar plexus that needs to be sorted out. I'm feeling the right hip being affected too, because now my right hip is aching. So, okay, because there's some blockages in the root. That kind of makes sense. So it feels like there's some unprocessed emotions that are sitting in that left hip as it pertains to your feminine energy and the brain stuff that we covered, or like not the brain stuff, but like the thoughts, the beliefs, the mental energy, the communication, the power here and the power here. It's not fully being grounded into your being. Also, what I was feeling is that there's a little bit of like ungroundedness, like you're not fully in your body, you're not fully present, not fully, and all of these energetic blockages, or the way that I'm reading the energy, if it has not manifested into like the little smaller things, it's going to start manifesting soon, or it could already been manifested. They don't always show me how it's manifesting though, but if like I do hear some kind of diagnosis, or I don't even like to use that word, but if they give me some kind of medical terms, I do use that, or I do relay that. So I'm just not receiving medical stuff at this time. It feels like these blockages have the potential though, if you don't take action in proactively clearing these and figuring out like what's the link between my beliefs about my power, my self-esteem, my communication, maybe as a woman specifically, or just as a being, and then like how am I using my power, how am I showing up in my power, how am I like one person, like how am I showing up very powerfully and empowered 1 minute and not the next. What's the discrepancy? What's happening there? Just exploring. And then the right side of the heart with the heartbreak stuff, unprocessed grief. That I would say that is really significant, because that can close off the ventricle. It can close off like a major part of the heart, is how I'm seeing it, how they're showing it to me. And then ungroundedness. Okay, so the ungroundedness is having to do with your power yet again. I was feeling ungroundedness due to like not fully owning power, not fully like, there's an imbalance in the power. So you're either owning it too much, not necessarily owning it too much, but we can own it in a way that's like maybe arrogant, or we can own it in a way that's like, not owning it all, like disowning it, or owning it like in an overly arrogant, overly like controlling, dominating type of way. Does that make sense? And those are the two extremes, but there's a whole spectrum in between. So it's kind of figuring out where am I at in relation to my power? Okay. That's quite a bit. So I'm going to leave it there. I would encourage you to do some journaling and just some introspective work on all of these things, because if they haven't already manifested, they are what stick out to me as manifesting, sickness, illness, disease, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. Let me get the poll out of the way. Wendy, you sent me, okay, you paid for a reading, my dear? Are you here, Wendy? I hope that makes sense. Oh, it's kind of sad, but it totally makes sense. As long as it makes sense, that's all that really matters. But those are the parts, I guess, or the components that I picked up on. Okay, so I would definitely encourage you to do the things or not, but it gets to be your choice either way. Okay. Okay, so Wendy, do you have a specific question, or would you like to explore relationships, career, health, whatever? Clarissa says, yes, I feel like I'm battling with accepting, loving myself, and regulating my emotions. Yeah, there's like, but if you keep going, you'll figure it out. It's a process of, sometimes it's messy as fuck, right? Sometimes it's really messy, but you keep going and you kind of figure out, oh, okay. And then like you correct, okay, all right. And you get some feedback and you're like, okay, yeah, that feels good. Okay, now let's like play with this spot and kind of turn the dial. Okay, that feels a little bit better. It could feel better, but it feels a little bit better. And it's kind of just about playing, not necessarily playing around with it, but yeah, playing around with it and being open to the feedback. And then just, where do I want to shift or correct the energy? Just play with it. Whatever comes up. Okay. All right. You got it, Wendy. Okay. Okay, my dears. So with the free readings, please just know that there's no relationship readings with the free readings, okay? They're only available in paid services, okay? And that's just due to my own higher intuitive guidance, okay? So everyone asking about relationship stuff, that kind of pertains to those things, okay? All right, Wendy, so I'm going to connect to you. Thank you so much for the donation. All right. I'm feeling, we're gonna go into this. I'm feeling to pull a card or two, and then that's gonna give us like the basis of like the reading. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but I'm hearing to keep it. Okay, that's a lot. So you got 5 cards. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just kind of filling into the cards, and then sometimes the cards like to be in a certain position because it's like another layer of information. So, Wendy, my dear, you have 5 cards. Your first card is healing. And I know it's upside down. But this is an initiation in healing, and there's resistance to healing. I'm not sure if it... There's a couple of things that I'm getting when it comes to resistance to healing. There's either some self-sabotage going on, or there's like straight up denial. Like, I don't fucking need to be healed. There's nothing wrong with me. Like, either it's sabotage or, it's like self-sabotage. So that can be a little more covert, and incognito, based, or it can be just straight up denial. That's what it feels like. Okay. So I'm not sure where you're at, but there's some very significant resistance to you actually healing. Okay. And we're going to tie it all together. But the next card I'm feeling to go to is acceptance. Okay. What's being required or asked of you now is acceptance. So whether it's the denial or whether it's the self-sabotage, moving into acceptance is going to alleviate it's going to help to alleviate the resistance that's going on enough to create some self-awareness and create like some like separation. Not necessarily separation in the way of like disconnection, but like it's almost to create space, that's a better word, for self-realization and an aha moment to be like, okay, I didn't realize, like almost like I feel like the light's being turned on, having an aha moment, having an epiphany of like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was going on. So I would move into acceptance around healing. Accepting, okay, maybe I do need some healing. We all need to heal. We all need to heal. Some of us just more than others. Okay. Some of us just have more trauma, more, distorted, programmed beliefs. Some of us have more emotional wounds than others to process, but we all need to heal on some level. Okay. So just realizing, or, being open to realizing, like everybody needs healing. Just some people need it more than others. And, I could use some healing on whatever level. I would move into acceptance. And I'm trying to figure out like how this, like I'm asking, how would this pertain to you? But it feels like moving into acceptance of, okay, maybe I do, maybe I could benefit from some healing. What would that healing look like? What kind of healing would it be? That creates an opening. That creates receptivity. And that helps you to lean into acceptance. Okay? So the next card is courage. Courage. This is also an initiation. Okay? So coming into acceptance of, okay, maybe I can use some healing. What would that look like? Opening that door and then realizing it takes a very courageous individual to admit, I need to heal my shit so I can own it and shift it and transmute the F out of it and integrate the lesson. That takes a very courageous individual. You know why? Because a lot of people, they ain't worried about that shit. They're not trying to heal their shit. There's a lot of wounding and like autopilotedness going on, and it's not that people are happy in that, but that's what's comfortable. And what's uncomfortable is moving out of that shit and releasing that stuff, because then you move into the unknown, and people, there's a lot of fear around the unknown. So it takes a hell of a courageous individual to say, I'm ready to heal my shit. I'm willing to heal my shit. I'm willing to do whatever the F it takes to be relentless in my commitment and my pursuit of realizing what needs to shift so I can shift it, and really becoming aware of my wholeness. Because you're not broken. You might feel broken. People might feel broken. We can create the experience of being broken or feeling broken, but we're never broken. So that's why I say it like that. Coming into the realization of the wholeness that you always are, always will be. You never cannot be it. Okay? Courage. Realizing it takes so much courage to own your shit. Because a lot of people are projecting and blaming, projecting their wounds onto others so they don't have to take responsibility of it. It takes courage to own it, to take radical responsibility for how you feel, how you're showing up, all of your wounds, all of the stuff that you were given. It wasn't your fault that you were given to them or that they were given to you, but it is your responsibility what you do with that. It is your responsibility to heal that shit, if that's what you came here to do, because not everybody came here to do that. But we're talking about healing here and the resistance to healing. So we're just helping to help some of the energies kind of percolate so that we can turn this into this. Okay? Excuse me. Ooh. And here's an interesting card. I don't know if I've ever received in a reading. Here's your fourth card, my dear. Time in reverse. Okay? I've been healing. I'm on my... Okay. All right. See? Okay. So you're already... This shows me that there's just quite a bit of resistance coming up then. Okay? That healing journey, and you're in it. You're in the thick of it. And this is another initiation. You got 3 initiation cards. That's a lot. So you're in the thick of it. That's what this tells me. You're in the thick of it. And good for you. Congratulations. Okay? Time. I'm just feeling into this. And as I feel into this, it feels like no time. And that can mean different things on different levels, right? So no time. I mean, time exists here on Earth. I know it's an illusion and people are like, it doesn't exist, but it also does exist here. At least currently, it does exist here in our current reality. So yes, time, but also no time. So both and then also it feels like I'm running out of time. Okay. What I feel from this card is, yes, there's a sense of urgency. That doesn't mean you're out of time. It just means you're feeling the very significant pull to move through the things and to keep going no matter what. That doesn't mean that there's no time. However, it does mean stay on the path. I would say stay on the path of healing, because it is important. It's very crucial that you keep on doing the things to heal what you need to heal, so that it keeps shifting you. The more you shift and the more you heal, it shifts you to those higher timelines, those higher timelines, those higher timelines. Okay, so You can release the fear of like running out of time. At the same time, keep on the path, keep on the journey of healing. Because if you like deviate and be like, I got all the time in the world, that would be, I would say, a pretty big mistake. That then you would like run out of time, essentially. Okay, so stay on the path. You're not out of time. You're learning, you're remembering how to become. Let's see. There's a better phrasing for this. You're remembering your timelessness. In other words, you're remembering your multidimensionality the more that you heal. That's the way. I don't even know like what the book says about this, but that's how this card feels to me. Okay. Your last card, my dear, is about pain, releasing pain. Okay? Releasing pain. Releasing pain. And this is why you're very much in the thick of it in your healing journey. Okay? So this is all a confirmation. This is all stuff that you already know. Okay? But it's being reflected back to you so that you stay on the path, and it kind of reinvigorates you and be like, you know what? I'm on the right path. Keep going. Trust. Okay? But this is about releasing the old pain through your healing journey. I hear all of the old pain, all of the wounds. So that is why you are in the thick of it, my dear, because all of this stuff is coming up. And it's coming up in the collective. That's why there's so much chaos. That's why there's all of these things and that are happening, just like this. It feels like the world's going crazy. It's just becoming more. All of the shit is being put on the table, so we can no longer hide anything in the dark. Okay, so all of the pain, all of the old stuff, the old pain, the old suffering, old trauma, old emotional wounds, it's coming up, and it's coming up hard and fast. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Please. That is one of the biggest things I wish I would have practiced more of, and that I wish I would have known and practiced more of in especially the beginning of my journey. Learning how to be compassionate with myself and gentle with myself. Because that makes the world of difference. Part of acceptance is this is where I'm at. I'm here for a specific reason. In my healing journey, it's all relative, right? So not just in your healing journey, but you are located geographically, relationally, in other, relationally with other people and circumstances, and in life, in all of the aspects of life. I'm here for a specific reason. I accept that I'm here, being accepting of where I am. I'm here, and I'm in this journey of healing, and it doesn't make sense. I feel lost. I feel confused, or whatever the emotions and the thoughts that are coming up. But you know what? I accept it. I accept that that's where I'm at, and I'm also moving. I trust that I'm moving out of it. I trust that I'm moving through it so that I can experience and feel all of the things that need to come up, become aware of all of the things that I need to become aware of so that I can transmute, alchemize, and then integrate the lesson, integrate the gym, integrate it into my life so I'm not continually perpetuating the old pain. Okay? So for the most part, that feels like it's it. This is really just a confirmation of where you're at. Keep going. And the biggest thing that came in for me, or not necessarily for me, but the biggest thing that comes in as I can read it is learn how to be compassionate with yourself, gentle and kind with yourself. All of this stuff is coming up. You're a human. You're learning how to process things properly. You're also healing generational wounds, ancestral stuff, and collective stuff. That's huge. That's a huge undertaking. Be kind with yourself. Empower yourself. Like, you know what? This is like, I'm just going to be kind to myself. Like, I love you, self. You're doing a great job. You might not feel like it in this moment, but you're doing a great job. I love you, self. You don't necessarily have to say self, but like, you get the you get the gist, right? I love you. You're doing so fucking great. I'm so sorry that you have to experience all of these things in order to become more aware. Also, at the same time, you're going to be so glad that you did. Because at the end of this, you're going to feel so empowered. You're going to know who the fuck you are. You're going to be so much more clear in yourself, in your energy, because you will have learned the things that you needed to learn, whatever skills or just awarenesses for self-realization that you needed to learn in order to heal this stuff for good. And it's not just you, or it's not just me that I'm doing this for. This is for all of humanity. That's huge. So I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna be grateful and kind to myself. And just it's okay, self. You can rest. I'm just gonna love on you. What do I need? What do I need right now? You know what? I think a nice warm salt bath with, rose petals feels great right now. Okay, self. I'm gonna give that to myself. Or I think I would like some nice takeout right now. I would like a nice gourmet meal. Or I would like to make myself a nice, my favorite dish. Be kind to yourself. Love on yourself and take care of yourself. Because this is a big, big undertaking. And it requires you to really learn and relearn and remember many, many aspects. So the best thing you can ever do to yourself is be kind, be gentle, and be compassionate with yourself. Okay? I hope that helps. Hope that helps you, Wendy. That's just all confirmation, right? My little light's going back. It's going off. So I'm just going to turn that off. Wendy says, yes, it's very hard and painful. I never knew I was going to end up on this journey. Yeah. But you know what? It's going to be the best thing that you've ever done for yourself. I mean, you in the end, you get to determine that. But I guess so. I can't tell you, but I will say from my own experience, it was the best thing that I ever did for myself. I ran away from trauma. I mean, I experienced a mountain high worth of trauma. And I ran from it for 35 years until I finally had a spiritual awakening in 2015. And then in 2017, I hit the wall and I realized I need to heal or else I'm going to kill myself. And that's not to sound dramatic. It's the truth. And 6 years later, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a fucking doubt, it's the best thing. It's the best gift I ever give to myself. So I hope that that gives you some kind of confirmation or hope, or allows you to trust even just like a modicum, a little bit, like a minute little part more, because that's it's very significant. All right. So you're welcome, Wendy. So one second. Okay, I just want to say, all right, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Please feel free to reach out if you need any like extra support, or you just have like an additional question. Not necessarily like reading wise, but just kind of general questions. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm not gonna like put that because I need to do things. So I think because I already did like last call and free readings, paid services. Is there any other paid services or paid readings that want to come through? Paid readings are the only way that I do relationship readings. Okay, the free readings don't include relationship readings. Okay. I'm just gonna fill in to see if there's anything else or anybody else like that is like important to read. Not that anybody's less important, but I just for the group, and for the live, or for the video when I post it. So please keep in mind, next week all of my prices are increasing. Okay. I swear I do that all the time. All my prices will increase next week. If you do want a private reading, feel free to reach out to me through my website or just on TikTok. I always offer everything here for a fraction of the cost. That's why my prices, I'm feeling like it's time to increase my prices again. Okay. I will have information. I'm hoping to have information next week about a free challenge / 5-day event for healing and for tools, techniques, etc. for those who are looking to learn how to heal and like learn some really significant keys about healing and moving through that type of journey, and just want to maybe receive quantum healing for themselves. Okay. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here, y'all. And I will be back next Monday with more readings, free and paid. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out and have a beautiful weekend. Mwah.